Hey everyone, welcome back to Geek Strong. In today's video, we're gonna work on one of the most terrifying areas in my room, and that is the closet. It actually has all my horror collection in there, as well as some other items. A lot of movies in there, and it needs a lot of work. Now, if you've been watching some of my latest videos, you know I've been trying to reorganize my room, try to make it a little bit more friendly, a little bit more appealing to the eye, because I love the Jaws display here. I think the wrestling display down there come out really good. This area with my vintage toys, I think come out really nice. A few other areas I've been working on, and I think it's coming out pretty good. But I really need to work on that closet with my horror collection and movies. It is pretty terrifying. Like, there's nothing on the ceiling. It's just insulation showing. And I need to add a new light, put up not necessarily a real permanent ceiling, more of a, I'll show you. I'll show you later on what I'm going to do, but I have to add some shelves. I have to do a lot of work in there, and I've been looking forward to it and dreading it because it definitely needs a lot of work. But again, I've been working on this room. I've added some puck lights, so I'll show you what it looks like. So you've been watching me turn around, and you can see the lighting in here. And the lighting's not the best. So I put puck lights all on my displays, all on the, I guess, the top or the bottom of the shelf. So right here, there's all puck lights here and down here. So when I turn those on, it really brightens up the room, and it looks really good. And what's great about it is they all basically work off of the same remote. Even though they're all individual pucks, they work on batteries. Unfortunately, I can't do like plug-ins. That would just be way too much wiring. So they do work off batteries, but I do have one remote, and we can activate it all on one remote. So what do you say? We're going to work on that closet, and I'll show you the lighting. So what do you say? Let's do this. All right, let's turn on the lighting. So we just have one switch. So we have right there, on and off. So let's turn it on. Boom, boom. Look at that. That looks so much better, doesn't it? And move over here. Light. So unfortunately, I can't put a lighting on the top shelf because the ceiling is actually fabric. As you can see, it's like it's the nighttime sky. So it's like this room was actually like more of a movie theater originally. I used to have like stadium seating down here, but now it is my toy room. I used to have like well, I have a big TV here, but we used to run more movies than show my toys. But everyone's older now. All the kids are older. Nobody watches movies down here, so now it's just my toy room. But putting puck lights over here kind of enhances and shows you all my vintage collection figures. Unfortunately, it shows all the dust also, so I do have to dust it. But yeah, look at, I love the lighting. Now look over here. You can see the Star Wars display. Just turning on those puck lights makes so much of a difference. Right down here, look at this. Boom, boom. That looks pretty good, right? So again, the room is so much brighter now. Look at that. I love it. I think it looks great. It's coming along good. I still have to work on the Ghostbuster area here. I'm still kind of waiting for some items to come in. I do have the Ecto-1 HasLab, so when that comes in, I think I'll probably focus on this area because some of these things might have to be put away, like including, like, unfortunately, the Proton Pack, the vintage Kenner ones, those might have to be stored away or maybe sold. I'm not really sure what I want to do with that. But anyways, I think the puck lights look great. Again, there's another one right down here. in my Star Wars display. So I think it's coming along pretty decent. And now we have to walk over and check out the closet. But before we do that, let me show you what it looked like before. All right, let's check out the closet, see what I have done. First off, let's check out the ceiling. Now, I did put up it's a blue tarp. There is a clear tarp behind this one, but that is what I'm going to use for the ceiling. This way I could staple it to the ceiling. I don't see the insulation, and I'm able to have space for figures, because if I put a regular ceiling up there, it would have to be lower, and I'd probably lose most of this shelf here. And we can't have that, right? I think this looks great. I like the blue. The blue looks pretty good. I do have a new ceiling light there. That's an LED light. It looks so much better than the other light I had. But I did raise this shelf up higher, so now I'm able to have another row of NECA figures here. So that just created so much space just by raising that shelf up there. But let's go take a look over here first. Now, these are my Marvel Legend retro carded figures: Spider-Man and Fantastic Four, Iron Man, Secret Wars, X-Men. There's a ton of figures here, and that's why using a pegboard is really cool, because you can have a ton of figures without putting them in bins. I wouldn't have any other way to display them. And this way I can rotate them around, because they are on a peg system. I can just move them around how I want. I think it looks great like that. Right here is Halloween 2 and Halloween 3 pumpkins. I think those are pretty cool. Right over here is my bodybuilding trophies with my Hulk figures, She-Hulk. I think those look great. And we have some carded figures over there in the back. But yeah, I like that display there, my bodybuilding. I mean, I don't have it displayed in the living room or anything. It's in a closet in the corner. I think it looks great. I know it's there. I like to look at it. Right over here is my Terminator 2 jacket. Check that out. I got that at Universal Studios. I think that's pretty cool. I wish I could display it in a different spot, but again, I know it's here. I think it looks great. Right up top here, I'm kind of utilizing as much space as I can. And this is Johnny Lightning. And now this is right above like the door frame here. So I have these tacked up here. So we have Christine and Ghostbusters. And coming down the wall over here is some more just vehicles. We have Grease and RoboCop and the new Back to the Future car. So I know it's not horror, but I like to have a few of the movie cars displayed. Sorry about that. That's not probably the best way to look at stuff, but it is a closet. I don't have a whole lot of room in here to move around. But these are all the bins I have. So I have like 17 bins of figures and stuff. Unfortunately, I can't display them all. I love the figures, but they can't be displayed at this moment. They are just in bins. And every now and again, I'll open up a bin and check them out. I think it's pretty cool. Here's the NECA Ed 209, RoboCop Jada Toys. And right over here, look at Rampage, the movie.
That sucks.
That is that. We'll talk about these figures over here, the Friday the 13th. But first, let's go right up here. And this is all my NECA figures. We'll do just 2 shelves at a time try to make this quick. And I love the fact that I'm able to put on this shelf the Puppet Master figures together. I think that looks great. Friday the 13th, Freddy Krueger underneath, Halloween. We have up top the Horror of Dracula, The Thing, Jigsaw, They Live, Texas Chainsaw down here, The Evil Dead. This is the Evil Dead DVD book. This is like spongy. This holds the movie, The Book of the Dead. I think that's pretty cool. Love that. This is the new Hooper figure. Jaws, Ghostface. We have the Count over here. And then right up there is Christmas Vacation, Elvira. But yeah, again, these are all my NECA figures here in the box. I think that's really cool. I do have 2 Pamela Voorhees. This one is still in the box. The Pamela is still in the box. I'm going to take her out and display her very soon. I do have one. I'm just using the body for the other one. I'll show you that in a second. But right over here, Close Encounters, I've showed you that recently. Phantasm, I finally took the sphere out of the box, and look at how awesome that looks. Phantasm. Let me know in the comments, do you like the movie Phantasm? And this right here, if you've seen the movie, you know what this is. I love that. That is great. We have the Thing dog, American Whale for London. I'd love to put a background on these guys. Let me know in the comments what background should I use for displaying those. Right here, Pumpkinhead, My Bloody Valentine, and here's the Toonie Terrors Grady twins.
Come and play with us, Daddy.
Now I did make this. This is a custom, obviously because I made it, but that is the elevator. How fun is that? And this is the blood. And you can move this off if you wanted to. Take that. It's just made out of like a clay. But yeah, that is pretty cool, right? The elevator from The Shining. And that's just like a shadow box. I made that during the Points of Articulation. If you've never seen the Points of Articulation.
Oh, the elevator.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, when I had,
you okay, Vern?
there was a few of us, actually, I'll talk about it now. There was a few of us that did a live stream. Vern, Oakhurst Studios, Dandy 1981, and Cap Cave, Josh. We did a live stream, Points of Articulation, where each week we would customize things and just do little crafts and things like that. It was pretty fun. We made a bunch of stuff. Let's see if there's something else over here. Yeah, I made this. Have you seen the movie Return of the Living Dead?
No.
Comedy kind of horror movie.
Nope.
Back in the 80s.
Nope.
Does it have zombies in it?
It does have zombies in it.
I've never heard of it.
Return of the Living Dead. So I made the canister that the zombies were in.
Holy
How many
cow.
zombies fit in there? Look at that. What's he?
So this is, and it lights up inside too. See how it's lit up?
Oh my god.
Second thing I made was Toxic Avenger item. So I made.
Oh.
That's actually cool. Is
Wow.
that a Pringles can also?
Yeah, so this is a Pringles can.
Nuh-uh.
Yep. Pringles can.
Rubber
and again,
bands?
elastic bands, and spray paint them.
You guys are so artistic, creative.
Very, very
That's
clever.
So Vern, you can take this as your challenge. Here you
And
go.
I'm telling you what, I'm going to the store right after this, maybe tomorrow. I'm gonna buy some Pringles.
This toxic barrel out of a Pringles can, which is pretty fun. But yeah, Points of Articulation, check it out. I have a few videos on my channel. They were live streams we did. It was a great time. But here we have, we'll move over to the Ben Cooper. This is the brand new Metal Mutant, if that's how you pronounce it. This guy's pretty cool. I think that's pretty neat. Actually, I think it's a girl in there. I can see her pigtails. But yeah, that is a pretty cool. I'm looking for the Wolfman. Now the Wolfman is in this wave right here. They didn't have the Wolfman. They had They didn't have the Wolfman or the zombie, but they had the other ones. They had the clown and the Visible Man. But I just picked that one up. I think that one's pretty cool. Right below it, we have more of the Ben Cooper figures. And right below that, more Ben Cooper figures. And there's one behind the other. Here is Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. This is it was a blind box. That is the creature from the original TV movie, It. Puzzle box. Friday the 13th. I love this. That is a fun display. Here we have the mother. This set is super cool. And then we have Camp Crystal Lake. And this is where I'm actually going to put Pamela. Right now I just have her head because I'm using her body for this. Check this out. How cool is that? Now, if you watch my unboxing video on Pamela Voorhees, I did mention that we need a survivor or a victim from Friday the 13th series. And look I made a custom Ginny. There she is. This is from the ending of Friday the 13th Part 2.
Jason! It's all done, Jason.
Now, this is the newer Friday the 13th Part 2 Jason. Now, this set actually came with this Jason, right? But this Jason isn't really articulated. His knees don't move or anything like that. His arms move and his head moves around a little bit, but he's really not that articulated compared to this one. So I think this one looks great. And there is Ginny, and that is Pamela Voorhees' sweater, her body. Now, I tried to take the sweater off this, but I couldn't do it. I tried to heat it up and to remove it. I thought it would have looked a little bit better if there weren't two sweaters in this scene, but we get the idea, right? I didn't want to damage this because this is pretty hard to find. But what I did was I used a WWE Stacy Keibler figure. Now, she comes with two heads, and this is the other head. So that's Stacy's head, but it kind of looks like Ginny, right? I think that looks fun. And then I just get regular, like cardstock at Hobby Lobby, put this up. I think it looks great instead of having just a regular white background. But yeah, how fun is that? All right, let's move on. Right below here, we have the Creep Show. We have Universal Monsters, Freddy Krueger. What if I use this cardstock behind my Freddy figures? I think that looks pretty good, right? Over here, Texas Chainsaw, and I showed you the Ben Cooper figures there. Now, this is where I started to change things around and add some shelves. Now, these are pretty much, before I used to have DVDs over here, or Blu-rays on these shelves here. But now I have all the figures, which is great. So this is so much better, and for at least me, I love this. Now, I moved the movies down below. I'll show you that in a minute. But right here are some of the movies. These are some of the horror movies I have. Pretty cool. And we have some more Freddy Krueger figures here. There was the barrel I showed you, but look at this, Goosebumps. I'm able to display all the Goosebumps books. Now, when my kids were little, we used to watch the Goosebumps episodes. I think it used to come out on a Friday or a Saturday night. We used to watch them. And then we got the books. We collected the books. I'm not sure if any of the kids actually read the books, but I used to collect them. And that is pretty fun. I love that. And this is actually the shrunken head from Goosebumps. This came in a kit. And then right behind there is postcards. So at the end of the video, I'll show you the books up close. If you want to take a look, you can stay late for at the end of the video and check all that stuff out. I'll do it real quick, show you all the books. I know a lot of people love Goosebumps, so it'll be fun to look at all the covers of the book. Right below here is my Star Wars movies. Now, I have to display the Star Wars movies, and then we have some Toony Terrors down here. Tarman, Pinhead. That is a custom Jason I made from the Toony Terror figure. We have Billy from Saw, and now some more movies. And check this out. This is pretty fun. This is kind of like a 3D picture of Godzilla that I got at Suncoast Video. Remember Suncoast Video? Does it even say Suncoast Video on it? Probably not. But yeah, I got this when you bought the movie, you can get things like this. So we have more movies behind there. So I love that. That is pretty cool. And then right below here we have an Ants version. Now I know it's not horror, but it came from Suncoast Video, and I think it's pretty fun. And it's like, you know, it's kind of like 3D-ish. See how it pops out a little bit? You fold it in. I think it's pretty cool. And then more of my horror movies. Now, originally down here I had just like milk crates holding all the movies, but I put shelves here. So this right here, this is a brand new shelf. That's a brand new shelf. And right down there, and right down there. So these are all brand new shelves to hold the movies. Now, we have some more items here. This is the Crypt Keeper. I got this at Spirit Halloween. This is a popcorn bucket. Some more alien items here. Unfortunately, I have to use these bins. I didn't want to use these bins in here. I wanted to just do shelves. But I have so many movies in here. It's like loaded with movies. There's 2 bins full of movies. And this is the best way to keep them. I don't think all of them would fit on those few shelves left. And then we have, right down here is all my laser discs. So these are pretty cool. Lost Boys, Batman Forever, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Indiana Jones, small Star Wars. Now I've shown these in previous videos, so I don't have a whole lot, but I do have a Laserdisc player to play these. That's actually a Kiss record, but I do have a Laserdisc player to play them, and I have a TV right behind me, a tube TV that it's hooked up to, so I can play them. But I don't play them that often. I played 1 or 2, but I think they look great for display there, especially the Dark Crystal. That looks great. Then right over here are some, these are vintage style models. I think these are pretty darn cool. I love these. Now, I had these as a kid. These are retro ones, but these are pretty cool. So we have Wolfman, Dracula, and the Mummy there. They glow in the dark. You can paint them if you want, but these are unpainted. Pretty cool. And then we have right down here, these are from Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Let me move this back up here. But yeah, all these are movies down here, so I'm able to put all the movies on shelves instead of a milk crate and pile them in a milk crate. So adding these shelves just created so much more space, and it just looks so much better than what it was. And then right back here, you know, the Ghoulies. That is from Skibbity Toilet in my Ghoulies stuffy. And then Tales from the Crypt figure. And then some items over here. This was from, let me show you here. That was from going to the carnival where they do a picture of yourself. And that was me back in the, what was that, 1988. I did have long hair back in the day. What do they call that? A character picture? Yeah, I think that's what they call it. But yeah, I think this is pretty cool. And this is my display setup for my horror collection and movies and Goosebumps. But yeah, I love it. I think the display came out really nice. Let me know in the comments. What do you think of this closet of movies, Goosebumps, and horror figures? I think it came out pretty decent. And again, it's a closet. I don't have a whole lot of space to work with, but it's definitely a lot better. And I think this room's shaping up quite a bit. Let me know in the comments what's your favorite item in here. And it might be, this is probably like, besides the Goosebumps books, I absolutely love this. I think this come out really good. Let me know in the comments, what do you think? Are you going to do a Stacy Keebler Ginny figure? I think you should. I think it come out pretty good. But I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Do all that good stuff. Remember, we are all Geek Strong. Take care, everyone.
Done your job well, and Mommy is pleased.
All right, let's take a look at some of the books. Right here we have Stay Out of the Basement, Monster Blood, Let's Get Invisible. Actually, we'll look at them all, right? Night of the Living Dummy, The Girl Who Cried Monster, Welcome to Camp Nightmare, The Ghost Next Door. I remember some of these episodes. The Haunted Mask, great. Be Careful What You Wish For. Piano Lessons Can Be Murder. The Werewolf of Fever Swamp. You Can't Scare Me. One Day at Horrorland. I love that one. I actually have the game. Check this out. All right, next up we have Why I'm Afraid of Bees, Monster Blood 2, Deep Trouble, The Scarecrow Walks at Midnight, Go Eat Worms, Ghost Beach, Return of the Mummy, Phantom of the Auditorium, Attack of the Mutant, My Hairiest Adventure, The Night in Terror Tower, The Cuckoo Clock of Doom, Monster Blood 2, It Came From Beneath the Sink, Night of the Dummy 2, The Barking Ghost, The Horror at Camp Jelly Jam, Revenge of the Lawn Gnomes, A Shocker of Shock Street. That one's pretty cool. Look at that. The Haunted Mass 2. That's creepy, huh? The Headless Ghost. The Abominable Snowman of Pasadena. How I Got My Shrunken Head. So there is the shrunken head, right? And there it is right there. Uh-oh, moving. Night of the Living Dummy Part 3. Bad Hair Day. These books are moving around, kind of distracting me. Let's see here. We have The Beast from the East. Check that out. Give me a second. I got to adjust this. All right, here we go. Hopefully this will work. Say Cheese and Die Again. That's pretty cool. How to Kill a Monster. Legend of the Lost Legend. Interesting. What is it? Oh, so these are different ones. So let me pull these out and I'll show you those. So that was the series of like the original Goosebumps. Now we get into different series here. All right, this series is called Even More Tales to Give You Goosebumps, and this is Special Edition 3, 10 Spooky Stories. This is Special Edition 2, 10 Spooky Stories. Same thing. Special Edition 1. Now this is another series, RL. So these are, I believe, are they new stories or are they just different books? You see how they shine? That's kind of cool. And this is Under the Magician's Spell. Sorry, I am wearing my glasses, but it's hard to see. Under the Magician's Spell. That's pretty cool. Right here is Beware of the Purple Peanut Butter. It's pretty cool, but you see how it's like shiny? Pretty neat. And this is Night in Werewolf Woods. Yeah, these look like all new stories, huh? Pretty cool. Oh, so these, I think you can choose. Read a Beware, you can choose the scare. So I think these are like choose your own path. choose from over 20 different scary endings. Oh, that's pretty cool. Is this the same thing? Yeah. That's the same as well as this one. So you can choose different endings as you're reading. I love those type of books. And right here is, yeah, so this is the same thing. Escape from the Carnival of Horrors. Choose your own ending. 20 different endings depending on how you choose. This is Calling All Creeps. That's cool. The Curse of Camp Cold Lake. Look at that. And then these are the movie ones. TV books. Based on the hot TV series. And these have photos in it and stuff too. That's that one. And look at this one. This one is super cool. The Girl Who Cried Monster. These are the ones that we used to watch on TV on like Friday and Saturday. Yeah, we used to love watching Goosebumps. It was fun. And back in like 2010, 11. And then this one here. Check this out. Oops. So, reader beware. Open this book if you dare scream. So these are Monster Edition. So this is 3 books in here. Pretty neat. And then we have postcards. Check out the postcards. But yeah, these are all cool postcards. All from like the books. I'll go through them pretty quick. The dog. Yeah, I can't remember where I got the postcards from. Can't believe I still have them. Those are pretty neat. Let me know in the comments, do you remember the postcards? Pretty neat stuff. Oh, I love this one. The Haunted Mask. Let me know what's your favorite Goosebumps story. I like Horrorland. It's cool because of the board game and just the characters are pretty neat. What'd you think of the movie with Jack Black? I thought it was pretty good. I thought I have it on 3D, in 3D, and I have a 3D TV, so it's actually a pretty decent 3D movie. Huh, I don't think I've seen this one before. Have we seen this one? That's pretty scary. It's like a hammerhead shark. Boy, it looked kind of like a whale, didn't it? But man, look at all these postcards. None of these have been mailed out to anybody. Here we have Slappy and the Scarecrow. The Gnomes. Last but not least, another Slappy. So yeah, that's all the stuff here.